friends, it's Kelly and welcome to my channel, and a great big welcome to my new subscribers. I'm so happy that you're here and joining my crafty little family. And today's video is for the hashtag Saturday Makes or Saturday Morning Makes, hosted by Jillian Norwood here on YouTube. I'll link her channel down below. It is an open collaboration. Everyone is welcome. And you share what you are working on through the week or what you're creating on a Saturday, like me. It is very early, but my house is quiet and I am enjoying my second cup of coffee that I made. And I wanted to share with you what I've been working on. I have all of these beautiful little scraps and little remnants of ribbons and material. I'm a very tangible person, so I love to be all touchy-feely. And then I found this gorgeous new basket in Dollar Tree, and it is a beautiful blush pink, and I love how elegant it is and all this little scroll work. So it's perfect for setting on my desk for what I'm working on in the moment. If it's a card, I throw in bits and pieces. If it's, some of my watercolor or paintings, I'm able to put some things down in here as well. So I love this little basket. Let me share with you what I am making with what's in here. I started out with a roll of burlap. This is from Dollar Tree. You do get the 9 feet, and it is a wired burlap, so you can just twist it and bend it however you like, but we are going to debone this. I'm actually going to be taking this apart a little bit. We're going to be turning this into this. And I am calling this my little journal candy. I'm not sure if there's an official name for it. If it is, please let me know. But instead of card candy or eye candy, I'm calling this journal candy because it is something that I'm creating that's a beautiful little piece, and it's handmade, it's homemade, made with love, and it's going to go into some journals. And it needed to be flat, so I thought this would be perfect for journal candy. So then this is another little Christmas inspired one. Here's one too. A lot of these did turn out to be pink. I just made this one a few minutes ago. It has a little blue tones to it. These are just literal scraps that I put together, and the idea is to pile them up, almost like a tag flip book. You start with something small like this. I'll do this one with you just really quickly, and then you build up on it. And this is the fun part, is you never know what you're gonna get, and I just love reaching into this basket and finding what mixes and matches well. Here's what I do with this. Let me set this to the side just for a quick second. You take this little edge here where the bone is, almost like a corset, and these are the little pieces of that. Be very careful because this stuff is awful. It is super sharp. It's like a catfish and taking out all the teeny tiny little bones. So there's this one. Take that out, make sure those are both thrown away, and then this is also what I do. I take this lace off. I know I'm going to add stuff back on. Why take it off in the first place? Because this doesn't always mesh well with everything that I'm going to be working, so it's better to start with just a clean slate. And I love this frayed look. I love the ones that have exactly like this. The little wisp, the little bits and pieces that are hanging off. I love it. I love this, just this really rustic homespun look to this. Very farmhouse almost. That's the feel that I get. And it just makes my heart smile to see things like this. So I start with a base layer, very much like this. And then I just start building on it. I got a couple of these earlier just to kind of give you an idea. This was actually from a Christmas present. This was a big bow, and so I ended up being able to keep part of this. See, what's the front, what's the back? Okay, there we go. There's the front, and I was able to repurpose part of this bow. So I thought that was really, really neat. And then a couple of these just looked a little extra Christmassy. So this is the first time I'm piling this many onto one. I hope this works. Then just to give you a little tip, if you don't want to sew, you can always use something like the fabric glue. That works as well. But I am using my trusty handy dandy needle and thread. And you might notice my needle is ginormous. This is actually an embroidery. And the reason for that is because I can't see. And I actually need this huge space here so that I can actually thread this, because most of the time there's no one around to thread this for me. And I am still using my hand instead of my little sewing machine, because I have not gotten the sewing machine out yet. This is just a polyester thread. I believe it's, yeah, 100% polyester, and I really, really love this one. Very silky smooth. All right, so let me show you how I do this. I just take one piece and I make sure it's kind of on here in a way that will like work together nicely. See, like this one, it has this natural inclination to pop up this way. So if I put it like that, it might not stick too well. So I might purposely have to put that upside down. You know, well, let's just try it. Maybe like this and with the other stuff on top of it. And then the idea is to just layer, 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 layer. There's no rhyme or reason. It doesn't have to be a specific way. It doesn't have to be perfect. It has to be however you like it. And then what I do is I just start anywhere that there is a light colored or white part in the material and just try to give this a little bit of a tack and just tack this down. Something like that, and then work my way around. This is going to be a little bit trickier because this is almost sheer all the way through. This looks almost like a, what do you call that stuff? Almost like a tool. Ooh, what happened here? I think I have a little hiccup somewhere. Yeah, I think there's something wrong with this little bit of thread. Oh, come on now. Might not be able to do this one on camera. And then one more stitch on the top. It'll get my fingers. That's why Mama always used to have a thimble. I think I have one around here somewhere, but I don't sew often enough to have that handy. And then just put this back down in here. And burlap is one of those funny materials to work with. It's very moody. Every time I was sewing these, these would get caught up around these little edges here and just start pulling and fraying. All right, I think it's gonna be, nope, one hanging here. All right, see, kind of like that. It was exactly what I was saying. And then I just come over here and maybe a little bit underneath. So I think you might be able to, this looks like a gross grain ribbon, so you'll probably see the thread. So I'm gonna kind of hide it under the gold one. There it goes again. It just keeps getting hung up on this. Ah! All right, I think I might just set this to the side and finish this one with some glue. All right. We got this, Kelly, we got this. But these are really fun to have little accent pieces in journals. Just say there's a space in your journal, you're not sure what you might want to put there, or maybe this is a conversation piece. Maybe you have a piece of material from a costume that you wore, or a dress that no longer fits that you want to keep for the material. I had a lot of stuff when I had the 4 babies that would get ruined with, you know, formula and, you know, smudges and chocolate and whatnot, and then I would never feel comfortable donating those, so I would just keep them for material and use them for, you know, other little things. Give this little stitch here, and then let me show you how I finish this off. There you go, so something like that. Now on the back, it doesn't look too prettier. It looks almost like, if you're into astrology, it looks like, you know, one of the signs. One of those things in the sky, the zodiac. All right, let's see. And then because this is burlap, you always have an anchor. You always have a place to add your stitching on the back. Okay, this is this is not turning out well tonight. Oh my goodness. I think I just got this stuck again. I am telling you, I sewed all 8 of those flawlessly. This is like the Winter Olympics, and I've had a great performance, and now I'm out on the ice, or, you know, going down the luge, and I trip and fall. That's exactly what this is like. So just do some stitching on the back once or twice, run it through the burlap, and it's not going to go anywhere. And then just tie off these pieces in the back. And that's basically all I am going to do. And these are going to hopefully grace my 52 and 22 journal. I have been working on a lot of that journal off camera, and it's not that it's personal, it's not that it's like got anything in there that I wouldn't share, it's just not turning out well at all. Everything that I have said that I'm going to try to do in that journal has turned out to be, oh my goodness. It's like art class 101. I'm coming back. Make me some space and save me a seat. Oh my goodness. There you go. That's it. Just something really, really super fun. You can trim off whatever you might not like, but it is just meant to be just whatever piece that you like. It's just something that you create from the heart. Maybe, you know, it's a rainy day and you just want to do a little bit of sewing. I actually take things like this to my son's school when I go to pick him up in the pickup line. He takes an hour to get out of school. My son will take 1 hour to come out of the school. So I actually will take a little book, or I'll do something like this. I've even taken stuff to color and just really, you know, utilize that time to make something that, you know, you really want. So these are my journal candies. And then I was looking at this one. This one has caught my eye. And I'll tell you why. These need to be flat. So just say, for example, this is a journal. This is a card that I made. Actually, this is made with coffee. And then I stamped it with a little brown ink with this little coffee. It says, "You can do it," coffee. And then these little rings, of course. And then these little splatters are actually coffee grounds that I set down on here and I let it dry. So let's just pretend this is your journal. These would be in here like this, like little focal points, or maybe an accent to a page that I'm working on. So I'll just put the little card candies in here like this. So I wanted them to be flat. Oh, there's this one that has the little blues. So then I started thinking, this one needs a button. I absolutely keep looking at this and I said, this one needs to have a button. And somewhere in my collection here, I have stacks of wooden buttons. But at the moment, I have no idea where I might have packed them away. So I actually have tins and tins and tins of buttons. Right now, this is the only thing I had handy next to me, Alice's little spiders. So I was looking to see if there might be one, and I might happen to get lucky. There were no wooden buttons in here. So I saw this one and it jumped out at me. There was just something about this one that said, "You are the one." So I'm going to take this button and sew this on right about here in this corner. And hopefully this will work just fine, because instead of having all of these as a journal, I can have one or two little pieces. Oop, that went right through. Let me give this another couple of little knots back here. And I do have a sewing machine. It is packed away. And then I have another one that's the little handheld one. But there's just something about this old needle and thread. It just gets the job done. These pieces are small enough that I can just do a little bit of a stitch here. I don't know what I'm doing back here, but let me try this. One more loop through and give this a nice big knot. Hopefully that lines up there. I hope everybody's having a wonderful Saturday. I hope whatever it is you're doing is awesome. I know we have Valentine's Day coming up very, very soon. Just a day more, 2 days more. Now this is the fun part, because I love to put the buttons on, and I love that this is going to be uniform with the up and the down. And you know, sometimes I do the X, I go across depending on what it is. This brings back a lot of fond memories for me, because my mom was a seamstress growing up. We lived on Air Force bases most of my life. When we moved to Germany, we lived in the middle of a German town. Then we moved to England. We lived in the middle of an English town. No bases. Just sort of transplanted us there. It was a lot of fun. And my mom was a seamstress. Everywhere we went, she would start to sew, usually for the ladies that, you know, needed a dress hemmed, or some of the enlisted or officers that needed their pants hemmed up, something like that. She would always be sewing. So I would always go into her little sewing area and keep all of these, all the little scraps, all the little bits and pieces that she would cut off materials and toss to the floor. I would go in and I would take all those and I would go to my room and make clothes for my Barbies. I would make them these fancy outfits, and I just loved it. It just really gave me that love of handmade and making it from the heart, making it, you know, from something else. Just really gave me that vibe. All right, put that there. We have 2 cats and 2 dogs. I want to make sure we know where all the needles are at all times. My daughter's cat Finny, who she rescued, and she's here with us for a bit, loves to jump up here, and I had safety pins opened up here earlier. Yeah, I almost lost one of my 9 lives when I saw her standing on all of that, but she's fine. She didn't even notice, and absolutely nothing happened. I think actually her feet got between them all. There we go. Again, you're not going to win any prizes for what's behind here, but that's okay. No one's going to see it. And that's what it looks like with a little button. Isn't that the sweetest? I personally love the fraying. I don't mind that it has all these pieces flapping off the side. I am totally okay with that. And this is so sweet with little button. Again, it'll be a little too heavy for a journal. See how thick that makes that kind of strange? But this would be actually very pretty as even a little focal point on a card. Really unique, really unusual. So there you go, my friends. This is what I worked on today, my little journal candies. And they are all so fun, so unique. I don't think any of these are the same, which is part of the beauty of working with these. Nothing will ever be exactly the same. Might be close, might be the same material, but it won't be the same. And there you go. I hope you liked this little it's not really a tutorial, this little chat, and what I've created today for Saturday morning makes. Make sure you hop around and check out that hashtag, because there are some really amazing things being made on Saturday. I'm sure you will see a lot of Valentine's today. And so that is it, my friends, with some needle and thread, a little bit of burlap, and whatever scraps you might have laying around. You can take this and go to this very quickly, and with just a little bit of elbow grease, is that what they call it? And putting some love in the stitches. And this is what I've created for today. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this content, consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to my channel, and that also helps me find your channel as well. Made a lot of new friends in the last 24 hours, so thank you so much for that. I really, really, really appreciate it. That's going to be it for this one, my friends. I'll see you on my next video. Bye-bye.